for every dollar you are willing to risk with Jared Daffy out there at Alice Springs. And there's nothing at all wrong with this lineup, is there? I mean, all the way through, it's very solid, and McClendon in particular has really stamped himself as a player of future authority.
He certainly has. They will miss Daly, but McClendon can play fullback, 5'8", he can play hooker anywhere. But their pack is a good pack. Like to see Simon Wolford run more from dummy half. Ricky Stewart, the number 7, the champion that he is, will be nipping at their heels not to go to sleep around that ruck area when you've got the Johns boys strutting their stuff. So it is a good... Kenny Nagus returns the ball well. Brett Mullins was supposed to come back, but he's not coming back, putting it off for another week.
Now, as we look at the Newcastle side, of course, they've been affected by the number of players they had in the State of Origin match. And I want you to, as we talk through this, tell me how you think they've been affected by the accusations made against them in the press and by the NRL this week past in relation to the Robbie O'Davis drugs affair.
Well, if there are any players guilty, then it's going to affect them. If they're not, it's going to make them fired up to show that they can really play. That is a good pack. Lee Jackson at dummy half area, number 9. He's very creative, very fast. Again, the Johns boys, they stand each side of the ruck. It's how well they're going to back up Butterfield too. He's a fellow that likes to run the ball forward. He's a very aggressive sort of defender, and he really didn't have a great game on Friday night, Tony. But just wondering, is he maybe harbouring an injury there or something at the moment? But it's going to be a great forward tussle as well.
Yes, it certainly will be. In fact, talking about the forwards, David Furner is the only Canberra Raider that has played all 14 games this year. So they've been, excuse me, I'll get it right in a minute, having their problems.
Just the key thing there, Cameron, is the defence. Look, Canberra's 10th and Newcastle first. Now, Ricky Stewart's back in the side, and Canberra's greatest thing in their Achilles heel has been losing concentration around that ruck area. So Ricky Stewart will be there saying, hey, let's not nod off now, boys. We've got to keep it tight. Line breaks, Canberra up there. We know they can score tries from anywhere on the field. And I said before, the key to this, Cameron, is going to be both sides love to throw the ball around and play an attractive style of rugby league. But the key is the completion rate. Whichever side's going to make more mistakes when they throw this ball around is going to go out. But both sides, they play attractive football. It's who's going to hold that ball.
Well, who is going to hold that ball? Because I've just about lost my voice. So talk us through it. Who's going to hold the ball? The Raiders or the Knights? Who's going to win?
Well, look, Knights obviously deserve favouritism, but it is at Canberra. It's very cold down there, and only because Ricky Stewart's in there. I think the Raiders will lose a little bit with Laurie Daly. There's no doubt about that. But Ricky Stewart in there, there are only few players that can put their finger on the pulse of a game, slow it down or speed it up. And Ricky Stewart, for mine, will, I think, be significant if Canberra are going to win today.
I know it's not a situation where they'll come head-to-head too often, but it is a good battle between him and Johns, isn't it? Yeah. It'd be interesting to see which one of them is the dominant force in the game as we go to Bruce Stadium, where we'll pick up commentary from Russell Fairfax, Jason Taylor and Terry Kennedy.
Welcome to Bruce Stadium. Quite a wet, windy and a cold afternoon in the nation's capital. For the Canberra Raiders, they love conditions down here at Bruce Stadium. Not so the Newcastle Knights. Quite warm in the dressing rooms at the moment. The Raiders have an outstanding record at home. Of course, their first 4 games this season were played away with construction works going on here at Bruce Stadium. There's Ricky Stewart in the number 7. Bradley Clyde, who will start this game. He was named on the bench. Furner will come off the bench after playing on Friday night. Brandon Pearson is back, and welcome firstly to Russell Fairfax. It's a great contest shaping up.
Well, the Newcastle Knights are in vision now. They are pretty vulnerable. Let's face it, it's been a real tough week, very unsettling for them. How that will transpire in the field, I guess we've just got to wait and see. But they've got a few missing, they've got plenty backing up, and they've had to endure travelling down here on a dull and dismal day. So things pitted against this Newcastle side, but they showed in last year's grand final they can perform under pressure, so don't write them off.
And they probably have the best fans in the business, Newcastle, with 2 airplane loads coming down. And led out by the new skipper there in Matthew Johns. Butterfield backing up from the Origin on Friday night. There is no chief. Paul Harrigan is missing with an injured knee. Andrew Johns also backing up. There's Fletcher and Owen Craigie, the fullback Mark Hughes, who comes in for Robbie O'Davis in the forward pack. Tony Butterfield, Lee Jackson, Glenn Grief, Neil Pinchinelli, Peter Shields and Billy Peden. Still a very formidable outfit. The champions from last year, and there he is, the key, Andrew Johns, 8 test matches for his country, 10 matches for New South Wales. He's the highest point scorer in Newcastle Knights history. They came into the competition way back in 1988, and 10 years later they won the championship, Russell.
Andrew Johns has been an absolute treat. Played all 14 games this year, backed up twice up the State of Origin.
No Laurie Daly for the Canberra Raiders, but Ricky Stewart in his second game back is the skipper. Kenny Nagus the fullback, McNamara and Vainicolo on the wings. Wiki and Pearce in the centres. Mark McClendon comes in for Laurie Daly and Ricky Stewart and the forward pack there. Hetherington, Wolford, Brand, Kennedy, Clyde and Croker. A more than formidable lineup. David Furner coming off the bench. There he is. Young Mark McClendon, just 18 years of age. 12 games so far and 7 tries. The leading try scorer for the Canberra Raiders. A remarkable young talent. Represented schoolboys for Australia in both rugby league and rugby union.
Disappointment that Laurie Daly is out, but marvellous for McClendon to develop.
Anthem, and as I mentioned before, the Newcastle fans so solid. 2 flame loads coming down from Newcastle, the Novocastrians. Can they have their first ever victory at Bruce Stadium? They have been here on 4 occasions and have not left Bruce Stadium victorious so far. And welcome from the sideline, Jason Taylor. Conditions rather slippery.
They certainly are, Terry. We've had continuous rain falling overnight here at Bruce Stadium. These are the conditions that the Canberra side loves to play, and they play in them every week down here. It's got a lot to do with the fact they are so strong at home as Newcastle received the penalty getting out of their own half. Canberra have such a great record at home. Opposition teams come down here and have to play in these conditions, and they do struggle. The Knights have to face up to it today. It's cold, windy and rainy down here.
The visiting side, welcome penalty, and they carry it out of their own territory now. Newcastle looking to make it 7 wins on the trot. Across the back it goes, and Glenn Grief takes it forward. Just all of 97 with a knee reconstruction through the hands of Matthew Johns. And now they're just 40 metres out from the try line. Newcastle, first chance to do some damage. Glenn Grief again. Lee Jackson, a dummy half. Andrew Johns to get involved. No, he's a decoy for his brother in Matthew. Now Mark Hughes up from the fullback position. Don't forget, no Robbie O'Davis, no Adam McDougall for Newcastle. Butterfield went a touch too early there for the kick. Johns, Andrew, they'll run it. This is Matthew chipping. Brand stuck the left shoulder out there. I thought he might have given away a penalty. The referee said play on.
Yeah, that is surprising, that. Take a look at this again. Definitely interfered with him, stuck the arm out. I know it wouldn't have hurt Johns. He feigned a little bit of injury, but no penalty was given. Canberra lucky to escape a shot at goal there.
Newcastle Knights, they look sharp, Jason.
Matthew Johns looked to me more than feigning injury there. He still looks a bit ginger. He fell fairly heavily. It'd be interesting to see. He played plenty in that State of Origin on Friday night.
Certainly did. He's had a very busy week, as Matthew Johns will keep an eye on him. Back through the hands of Ricky Stewart now, that right boot over the top of the head of Moody. That is a beauty by Ricky Stewart. It's a 40-20, or maybe just.
Well, it's gone into touch on the 30-metre line, Terry, so how you've got a 40-20 out of that is very hard for me to work out.
Just calculated there a touch.
Well, you're a bit closer to the action than we are, Jason, I can tell you. But it was a good kick by Stewart. What Stewart's got to do, he's got to really stand up. No Laurie Daly. Ricky's got to have the ball in his hand more than any other Canberra player. If he does that, the Raiders do have a chance. His kicking game has got to work overtime. He's got to pin Newcastle in their own territory.
Johns. Moody. Fletcher now. Through the hands of Grief. Butterfield spins. No runners off him. Tony Butterfield, 42 years of age and backing up from Friday night, as is Johns. Now across it goes. Neil Pinchinelli taking the ground. They're now in Raiders territory. Andrew Johns readies himself. Short pass for Grief, who's been heavily involved so far. Early minutes in this game, no score. Jackson goes to the short side. Andrew Johns with the kick. It's a very good kick, in fact. Big in goal areas here. It shoots up, and Nagas had no choice whatsoever. It's been a great start by the Knights.
Well, that was an absolute gem of a kick. I don't know if he knew this was going to stop just inside the goal, but it did. Nagas had to play at it. Nagas was ambling across there to begin with. He certainly hurried up when he found out that it was going to stop there. He only got there just in time, so it's all Newcastle so far, and the crowd getting behind the Raiders now.
Stay behind the line. And Steve Clark. Big dropout. It's a beauty, in fact. 52 on the fly. Billy Peden winds up and takes it back. They have had all the possession so far. Butterfield, the decoy to the short side. Jackson takes off himself.
We haven't seen much of Jackson, but these conditions will suit his running from dummy half.
Reef again. He's played in all 14 games and he's picked up 2 tries. Matthew takes him to the far side. Back for Grief. Andrew Johns, well wrapped up in the air. Taking the ground, 22 out.
A good vision by Jason Craven to make that tackle. He backs it up with 2 on the trot.
Troy Fletcher with a very good charge. Final tackle. They have stacked the short side. The little kick. Big in goals, but this time it goes dead, but only just. Back to the 20. The first sign of relief in Canberra. They want to get on with it and get out of their own territory. Inside the 10. Only a small crowd here in the weather conditions, but they have put a little bit of pressure there on referee Steve Clark.
First piece of ill discipline by this Newcastle side. Everything so far has been spot on. They wanted to keep Canberra down in their own territory. A little bit over-vigorous in the tackle, and that resulted in a penalty. Relieve a bit of pressure for Canberra. They certainly need to be relieved of something. They've been under threat since almost kick-off.
Jason, we were wondering about the mindset of the Newcastle Knights. They've had a very controversial and drama-charged week. They've come ready to play, haven't they?
They certainly have. You wouldn't know that the week would have upset them at all with the way they're playing so far in the early parts of the game. That kick from Matthew Johns just went 1 roll too far. The one from his brother earlier. It stopped just a metre before the dead ball line, so they were looking for the second set of 6 on the Canberra line there, but didn't get it, and Canberra building a bit of pressure of their own man.
Stewart, the open side. Nagas trying to inject himself into the back line. Taken in the tackle there by Johns. This is Anthony Brown, a Balmain player, into the Mariners. Back it goes now. Stewart, the little kick, and straight down the throat there of Grogan, who comes away and is eventually taken by Ruben Wiki.
A fairly predictable set of 6 by the Canberra Raiders. Just hit it up, and finally a kick from Ricky Stewart. They'll need to do more than that if they're going to bamboozle this Newcastle defence.
Rudy. Hoping for more from that kick, Ricky Stewart. Lee Jackson picked up a handy 10 metres. Johns himself. Janelli, Fletcher, intercept McClendon. He was away and it was lightning quick. Moody was there.
Well, he was staring try number 8 in the face then. Just couldn't quite control it. Not much in it.
Certainly had to go for the intercept there, McClendon. It was on. The disappointing part about it now is he's given the Knights another set of 6. The Raiders have had to do plenty of defence early in this game.
Mark Hughes, standing fullback for Robbie O'Davis. Heaton, up over the halfway line. He goes Grief again. It's been all Newcastle so far, 24 to 12 for hit-ups. The grandstand side, Jackson again, inside ball. The Knights are starting to make ground. Neil Pinchinelli will get up and play it quickly. Andrew Johns, his brother Matthew standing wide. The cutout ball again. Moody for the corner. Try-saving tackle on the far side. Only 1 metre short. They need a quick play the ball. They get it eventually. Up out of the line quickly. The Knights going backwards. The calls come for the kick. Pressure here. Vainicolo spills it. Is it play on? We'll be going with a video referee.
Westy, I'm pretty sure that came off the Canberra Blake backwards. Can you just check to make sure that there was no Newcastle knock-on?
It sounds like a Newcastle try. Steve Clark saying he's pretty sure it came off the Canberra player,
just check that,
which was
to make sure
Vainicolo.
on side.
We'll take a closer look. It's come off his chest. Touched Brogan's shoulder. And Craigie dives on it.
Certainly Craigie from an on-side position. That shouldn't be a problem. That should be the opening points for this Newcastle side. And haven't Canberra, as in the past few weeks, always started pretty slow. This is another example of it. Craigie, just nice and low. No knock on. That's got to be a 4-pointer.
The green light goes up. And plenty of Newcastle Knights fans here at Bruce Stadium. Brogan chased through it, came off his shoulder, but Craigie it was, in the end, who picked up the try.
Well, it was all set off from the play before this one where they made the break. Unstuck here, they just go for broke here. They put the high ball up, speculator, 3 on 2. They went for the football, put pressure on the receiver, and as it does, Owen Craigie, the man on the spot. No great mystique, no great technique about that one, just a lucky bounce.
Try number 9 for the season. Now this man, Andrew Johns. Hot and cold with the boot so far this season. Looking at 70%. He strikes this one just wide. The scoreline at Bruce Stadium. 4 points to him.
There's a bit of a mix-up here between Andrew and Matthew Johns. He got that one away on the inside. Andrew, when Matthew put this kick across, the outside backs actually had to back up to make sure they were onside. They did it well, and a simple try there.
Made a play so well, there was plenty of patience shown by those left side, outside backs. He waited patiently, Grogan away from the first man. Comes into this side for Adam McDougall. Back up from the origin.
That'll be one thing Melvin Ingham, the coach of the Raiders, will be cranky about. They don't start very well, these Raiders. They started poorly against Manly and North Sydney, and again they're doing it against this Newcastle side.
Back on the line, mate.
Lee Jackson, a vital blunder here. This will give the Canberra Raiders a sniff. As close as they've been so far in the opening 10 minutes of this game. 30 metres out from the try line. McClendon. Wiki, so strong, Ruben Wiki. Bradley Clyde, jumper number 15. Wolford is the dummy half. Across he goes for Stewart. Brand, back on the inside. Stewart again, McClendon, Ben Kennedy, and a great tackle by Craigie. In fact, Johns it was who got out of the line quickly. Broker in sparkling form for the Raiders. Final tackle. Stewart, high ball is coming your way. Brogan chases Hughes. Nobody wants it. Nobody plays at it. Now they do. They have a stack of numbers. He's bombed that try. They had a 4-man overlap on the left-hand side. Quick hands, but I saw the Raiders score.
Yeah, 4 against 2 in that occasion. They thought the 6 was up. Here it is again. Nobody goes for it. Tap back by the Raiders. It's like Aussie rules. And there's the kick. Shouldn't have gone on. Brett Hetherington, he should have moved the football out to his left real quick. Try was on.
So Taylor was a touch harsh.
No, I think you were right, Terry. Ricky Stewart agreed with you. He had a little bit to say to Brett Hetherington after he kicked that ball. It wouldn't have been so bad if he hadn't kicked it straight to the winger.
Moody was there, waiting for open arms. There's Johns kicking the final tackle for Newcastle. Leslie Vainicolo goes back. Has Nagus in support. Vainicolo, ankle tap. Maybe that's the best way of stopping him. He's a huge man.
He is a runaway truck. You've got to just do something. There's a penalty.
Too long, Neil.
Neil Pinchinelli giving away a penalty. Simple stuff, though. That'll infuriate Mal really.
A pretty good job of milking that one, too. Leslie Vainicolo, who was a schoolboy sprint champion, and he was swapped in a deal with Auckland for Quinn Pongia. Now finds himself as a Canberra Raider. There's Vainicolo again with the restart.
Well, let's just see how predictable this Raiders attack is. They've hit up once. Same thing again going crossfield. So they hit centre field. If they're going to put a play on, this has to be the time. Look for Ricky Stewart.
Stewart calling the shots. Wolford goes for a gallop. Thought about the offload, but Matthew Johns was there. Stewart now with the kick. Mark Hughes positioned himself in a superb position and got around the first chase. The second chaser also missed him. Stewart eventually makes the tackle.
Very lackadaisical chase by this Canberra side. This is a crunch game for them. They don't look as though they're treating it like that.
Ricky Stewart has copped one in the jaw while attempting to make that tackle. Good tackle by Ben Kennedy over the top. Ball and all. Pinchinelli stepping back off that left boot. And a little knock on.
He lost it.
Well, considering the conditions, Jason, it's been a frantic pace so far.
It certainly has. There's been a couple of mistakes from both sides. Newcastle in particular, though, not afraid to let the ball do the work. Canberra probably haven't had as many opportunities, and at the moment spending most of their time working out of their own half, which they're going to have to do again here.
Nagus. Lightning quick is Ken Nagus from the back. Only 3 games for the Raiders so far this year. That's Wiki. Brand looking for the offload. Nobody close enough. Stewart. Broker. He wants to take on the first man up. McClendon will be well marked today. Kennedy can't get away from Lee Jackson. Final tackle, the Raiders have gone nowhere. Back it goes for Stewart. Steps back, kicks off the side. Hughes knock on, a near impossible take. Tried so hard to get there on the full, Russell. They dropped on him late.
Well, he did try to get this on the full. Most good fullbacks will try and take every ball on the full, but just unlucky there. But gee, you think that the Newcastle Knights would sense that the Raiders have only got one kicker in Ricky Stewart. No one else is going to put a kick through. There's no Laurie Daly. Why can't they get to put some pressure on him? As we take a look at the possession, though, Newcastle have had all the ball, but Stewart again they're working away and kicking away possession. They've got to keep the football in the hand. They'd be better off running it on the 6th.
Hendon. Inside ball for Brandon Pearson. The match for the Raiders just 2 weeks ago. Wolford to Stewart. They're inside the 10. Stewart will take the quick tap. Will he go to the sin bin for a professional foul? Maybe he will. Peter Shields.
Time to take the quick tap, okay? You're lucky not your colours are winning. You get back and look at Ricky, get back, get back. Peter Shields, come out here.
Well, eventually maybe he will.
You want to start the sledging stuff? Come here. Mate, you want to start the sledging stuff? There's only one place that'll be taking place, and that's in the change room, all right?
I've got no doubt it was a professional foul, and it's taken all the sting out of the Canberra Raiders' quick tap.
Ricky will be ropeable with referee Stuart Clark. Certainly a professional foul.
It goes. Hetherington is taken inside the 10-metre line. Croker. Cross it goes for Stewart. McClendon has runners, players in motion, doesn't need them. McClendon is so quick. Blink and you'll miss him, and the teenage sensation goes over. He is exactly that. 18 years of age, and try number 8 for the season. There's the foul. Ricky Stewart held up there by Peter Shields.
Well, it's just quick hands now. Ball moved out, and here's what all happened. Look at all the decoys. A couple of good decoys. There was no interference there. You're right, he is fast, and he's not only 18, is he? He is a super player.
Certainly is. He's a player to watch. He'll be heavily marked in this game, but he has broken free on this occasion. And just sheer pace got him there in the end. Jason Taylor, he is a player of the future.
He's a player of the present at the moment. 8 tries. You see the goal kick.
He has struck that one, just waved away. It was just sheer speed, really, Jason, wasn't it?
It was. I thought there was a hint of a shepherd there, though, as those Raiders players came through on the outside. Watch this guy go through here. McClendon dummies to one, and there's the guy go through on the outside. Just held up that defence enough. McClendon with that pace.
It's there in the end. 4 points all. Good game on our hands here, as we expected at Bruce Stadium. All locked up between the Newcastle Knights, who need to get the 2 competition points here to jump back on top of the Melbourne Storm, who now lead the NRL competition. Hetherington plays it back. Wolford, he'll steal 10 metres, make it 12. Fletcher makes the tackle front on with Billy Peter. Just short of the halfway line. Stewart kicks for field position, and that's a beauty.
That was outside.
Marvellous kick by Ricky Stewart, and I dare say that Peter Shields revving up with Ricky Stewart might just get Stewart to turn in a blinder today, just what the Raiders need. Stewart on song spells danger for any side he's up against. That was Ricky Stewart of old, a delightful kick.
He was. He's had just the 1 game's back since the illness. He's been out for some 7 weeks. Back he goes. This is Gidley. Now it's dummy half. So Gidley plays it back. Billy Peden. 25 out from his own line. Max plays it back. Good charge. Shields just short of the halfway line. The crowd reacting. They helped out Steve Clark. And just a tiny knock on there.
Just the same. We'll see. There's the knock on. It did roll out the back. He did lose control. Not a hand in there, but gee, they were an easy 35 yards, 40 metres for the Newcastle Knights, making
Newcastle
metres at will. That's been one of the Raiders' downfalls. They've conceded 251 points. They've got to improve their defence.
Keep it in there, Locks.
Stewart as Nagus keen to get involved. Seabold has been doing a good bench for the Raiders. A good job for the Raiders off the bench, I should say. Bradley Klein driven back in that defence. Butterfield, busy weekend for him after the Origin on Friday. Stewart, short ball for Ben Kennedy. So close to being through. Peden did a good job. Wolford taking the Raiders forward and losing it. Well, conditions no doubt slippery, Jason.
It's just starting to show now that the slipperiness of that ball, as we just see it pop out as the players get that a little bit more tired. The ball is slippery. It's going to come loose in those tackles.
Once again, with the job of working it away from their own line. Shields.
It was a good opportunity there, Terry, for the Raiders to really put some pressure on Newcastle. They've done most of the defending in this game so far. They turned it over quite easily.
Andrew Johns chips for himself, trips over himself. Stewart, here comes Nagus. Watch out. If he gets in the clear. Tackled on the halfway line. Plays it back quickly for Pearson. This is young McClendon, already has one try. Ben Kennedy, they are running nicely. McNamara down the sideline. Flings it back. Great work for the Newcastle Knights. McClendon makes the tackle.
What about that bit of play by Matthew Johns, a little scoop up to the player? That is all confidence. You know, you go miles to see something like that. Take your hat off to the Canberra side. They're moving the ball wide. Ricky Stewart touching it more and more. They're looking a lot better.
4 points all, Billy Peden. Taken just short of the halfway line. Jackson. It's up Hughes. Away they come, Lee Jackson. 10 metres inside Raiders territory. Andrew Johns. Chips for himself again. Chases, regathers. Grogan drops it. The cover was there, but brilliant work by Andrew Johns.
This is all class. Take a look at Johns over the top for himself, beats them all on the full, without looking, finds the man perfectly. Owen Craigie, Grogan will be upset with himself. The pass was a touch behind him, but he should have taken it.
Well, the Raiders have turned it over. Chance now for Newcastle to maybe make them pay. And the penalty.
Out of his hand.
Handing to play the ball. And McClendon pinched.
Accidental hand on the football there, but just the same result.
They'll take the 2 points here, Jason.
Andrew Johns had tried that chip over the top a couple of times. We see the replay. He just had a little go at it. McClendon knocked it out. Andrew Johns persisted with the chip over the top. He tried it just a few minutes before that one and didn't get any success, but he persisted with it, and that was a great result, nearly a try in the corner.
Penalties at the moment, 3-2. They favour Canberra. Handling errors, well, the Newcastle Knights, 5-3. Possession has favoured Newcastle. And the scoreboard at the moment, 4 points apiece. Andrew Johns, as I mentioned, 70% for the season. Luck for New South Wales. He has better luck for the Newcastle Knights today. The deadlock is broken. Newcastle at the moment, they lead by 6-4. Johns coming up with that penalty. And now fresh troops for the Canberra Raiders. Luke Prittis checks into the game for the Raiders. Down it goes for Grogan. Comes off the left wing. Short kickoff. Matthew Johns. Peden taking in that tackle. This is Fletcher. Had such a big difference when he came off the bench for Newcastle in the grand final.
David Furner's now on the field for the Raiders, and the defence has tightened up just a little bit. Yards not so easy.
Johns is Matthew. Nagus goes across. Picks it up. Looks up. And there is a sea of Newcastle Knights jerseys in front of him. McNamara. Away. Vainikolo. Taking a touch high, the crowd thought.
Yes, almost a high shot. The big man, Vainikolo.
He wants to get up and play it quickly. Croker. Ooh, a handy little 10-metre sprint. They need another one now. Stewart. Pearson. Good hit there by Butterfield. Go to the short side. Stewart. McClendon. McNamara. Into a touch of space. Well picked up by Stewart. Bradley Clyde now. Just 1 man short on the far side. Little chip. Into the end goal. A fumble. And they won't get out the Knights. They'll get a second set of 6, Canberra.
They're working the left-hand side of the field. Here's another time down the left-hand side. A little kick through by Prittis. but still very well, easily cleaned up there by Billy Pearson, working out wide. But they are continually working that left-hand side of the football field. They want to work the short side, the Canberra Raiders.
Raining fairly heavily down here now, Terry. It's going to make that ball even more slippery. The Raiders really have to apply some pressure here as Nagus drops the ball. Stephen Clark calls it play on.
Easily could have been a knock-on from Nagus. So maybe a break there for the Canberra Raiders. Can they use their luck to advantage? Anthony Seabold, bustling run, 28 metres out. To the line they go again, Anthony Brown. Stewart, decoy runner in firm. Nagus gets over the top of Andrew Johns, and Johns comes again. Wraps him up 10 metres out. Vainicolo dummy.
That's for the long ball.
Stewart back to the inside. Nagus again.
High ball by Stewart this time. It's on.
They stack the left-hand side, the Canberra Raiders. The little chip, and they'll get a third set of 6.
Well, that's the decoy. Ricky Stewart, very vocal, saying they're going to go for the big kick, and instead they take it short and take it close. Again, this one along the ground, Croker, just unlucky not to get there.
You need that variation, Jason Taylor.
Tony Butterfield probably made Jason Croker's mind up for him there. He really took off out at first marker. He's going to try and put some pressure on Ricky Stewart, so Croker took off. Just as well that Craigie got a boot to that one, because I thought Croker was a chance of scoring. Another set of 6 for the Raiders.
Short drop out this time. It's been touched by Canberra. Kennedy has it. And halfway through the gap. Now, Anthony Seabold winds up. Good run. Just 10 metres out from the try line. Canberra on fire at the moment. Back it comes for Britis. The tackle there.
The Raiders aren't far away from scoring.
Stewart has players in motion. Ricky Stewart. Great hand by Stewart. Anthony Brand. He had it. He fumbled it. He dropped it.
20, boys.
Gee, Ricky Stewart took off. This is Ricky of old, the big dummy. Tried to fend him off. Almost could have got there himself. There's a try. That's it. That would have put him in front.
It's great to see Ricky Stewart take the line on. Handling errors 4 to 5. Out the back it went. Play on is the call from referee Clark. The side has really been able to grab hold of this game so far. Pinchinelli goes forward. Played in all 14 games for Newcastle. Butterfield now. Those legs must be a touch tired after the origin of Friday. 32 years of age. Moves off the marker touch. Matthew Johns. McClendon was up on his man very quickly. Moody it was. Matthew Johns. Nagus. Stood his ground well. Chased by Newcastle. It must be good against Nagus. Seabold. He's forward. He's played in 7 of the 14 games so far. Vainicolo has come in off the right wing to do some work.
Canberra a little slow to react. They nearly scored a try at the other end of the field, but now they're down here. They're looking for Ricky Stewart to get them away. He does just that. That's a good kick.
What a great player he is to have in your team to get you out of trouble. Ricky Stewart, and they'll get a breather also, Jason.
Yeah, as we see the replay of the kick, a really important period for both sides at the moment. Stewart's done plenty of those kicks today inside his own 40-metre area. Definitely looking for that 40-20. If he gets one, it really will be a great bonus for the Canberra side. But 10 minutes to go before half-time. Just a period where both sides really have to keep their concentration levels up. The feeling that the defences may open up a little bit as we get closer to the break.
Newcastle, back it off already there. Got in.
Ricky Stewart comes off the field.
There you got it.
Linden will go to the half-back position, and I'd say probably Croker move into 5-8. Here goes Craigie. Craigie! Well, he'll give the Canberra Raiders a sniff. Brogan looks at Craigie, and Craigie looks back at Brogan. Ball went forward, and a a long way forward. Hard to blame Grogan there.
Yeah, hard to blame Grogan. Put that one down to a wet ball. I think Jason Taylor touched on it. The rain's a little bit heavier than before, and the ball is getting slippy. The fatigue set in. That was the pass that slipped off.
Stay there until it's out. Stay till it's out.
Linden. It's Croker. Dummies. Get around his man and Gidley. Made the tackle. Seabold. Takes it forward. 28 metres out. David Furner. Bustles his way. The 20-metre line. Short-sided is Croker. Back now for Brandon Pearson. Pearson taking the ground. McClendon. Ball back to Ben Kennedy. Straight over the top he'll go. There is no stopping Ben Kennedy. He crunches his way over. And the Canberra Raiders now in front. And they're fired up. He enjoyed every moment. And why not? Look at it. They want the 2 competition points here desperately.
Here it is again, back inside. We spoke about the working the short side. Kennedy, like an exocet missile. There was no stopping him. Nice and low. Here it is again, turn the ball inside, then again inside. Kennedy just ran into the hole. A treat. There's no way that they could stop it.
Canberra have really been working over the ruck of the Newcastle side. As we see it there. They looked to go wide a number of times and then turn the ball back inside. We saw Stewart look to go wide earlier, threw that dummy and went through. Maybe just seen a weakness there, and it's paid dividends on that try.
Warner, to stretch that advantage. Flags go up. Now they go further ahead for Canberra Raiders.
It was just a simple inside ball. Clinton turns the ball back on the inside. Big hole up the middle for Kennedy. He wasn't going to be stopped when he got to the line.
Stopping the former rugby union star, Russell. You'd know a fair bit about him, of course, St Joseph's College, then Manly Rugby Union, where he really stood out.
Yeah, schoolboy star. I think he's found his feet in the 13-man game more than the 15-man game. He's playing some good footy now.
You were about to say the professional game, weren't you, then?
Yes, I was. Both codes are professional now.
You lost it.
That's a costly error inside the 25.
Critters there looking up.
Got a hand near it. I've never got through anyone.
Yeah, Anthony Brand. No excuses, really.
You got to control the ball.
Stone Cold dropped it.
Steady, nothing silly.
Handling errors are now
nothing silly. You come up, Blue, and I'll be on to you.
Johns, brother Matthew, standing out of that scrum. Peter Shields, now for Craigie, so strong.
The Knights will be keen to hit back just before half-time.
And this is crunch time. Billy Peden up-handed. Good test of character for the Canberra Raiders. Inchinelli. The ball. Change of direction now. Andrew for Matthew. Inside ball. Mark Hughes. Offloads. Champion run this one. Badiris. Danny Badiris is snuck on. Now they have numbers. Johns. Easy try this one for Fletcher. And Newcastle. They strike back. And they strike back quickly. Far too easy. Johns summed up the situation very quickly.
Well, it was just a perfectly timed ball, and I've got to say that Troy Fletcher delayed his run a treat as well. There was no mystique, as I said, about this one. Here it is again. They come from dummy half. Brother to brother. Just draws the defence, and he comes back on a touch of an angle, and then comes round to improve the angle even more as Ben Kennedy gets there late. I'll get that out.
There's Fletcher. He gets over the try line. His first try this season, only his second for his career. Doesn't get to celebrate the 4-pointers too often.
Well, that was set up by the run by Badiris just the ruck before. Got within 5 metres before Fletcher did the rest.
So Johns, this is an important kick, this one. Break the deadlock. The flags go up. It's now 12 points to 10.
It was just a numbers game here. Newcastle had 4 players, Canberra 3. The 2 outside guys stayed out on their men, left the run open for Fletcher.
It's a 2-point ball game now here at Bruce Stadium. And it's the Newcastle Knights, the visitors, looking for win number 7 in succession. We've hit the front, adjusted to 12 points to 10. And it goes. I think 4 minutes coming up here before the half-time break.
Well, that's going to hurt Canberra. You know, psychologically, that's a big minus for them. They've just come back, they've hit the front, and then they turn it over so easy. You know, you've got to start to be thinking. I'm sure Melbourne would like to get to them at half-time and put some steel back into them.
The Shields being driven back. Furner, 12 on 12. Medeiros. Johns. Cut out ball for Craigie. Taken there by Ruben Wiki. Brogan. Andrew Johns, big right boot. Touching Nagus a touch out of position. He goes back now, the fullback for Canberra. Big chase again, and it was Andrew Johns leading the way. They are desperate for the 2 competition points. Vainicolo hasn't been able to see any clear space yet.
Gee, slow to regroup as this Canberra side. This is tackle number 3, and they're just in order now.
Quintus away from dummy half. Stewart back out there. And straight for Mark Hughes, who got across well. Waiting for the early kick.
Just the one fumble to Hughes. He's been pretty sound other than that. Stewart has had a habit of finding him with those kicks.
There's it back. The Raiders territory. This again. Ladies roll and try for Newcastle. Johns. Moody went without it on the far side. He had a little bit of a peek, I think.
What about the pass? He cut out 3 players. I don't think Moody was even watching the football.
Hetherington. Stewart.
Numbers out wide.
Broker. Stepping the former centre. For Kenny Nagus. It's a dangerous combination. Furner. Dummies. Ricky Stewart timed his run, but just was there too quickly in the end. Brittis. McClendon. Again for Brendan Pearson.
Good tackle by Gidley, then wrapped the ball up. And numbers out wide did Pearson.
Anthony Brand. 30 metres out. Stewart, change of direction. McClendon. Pearson comes back away from the sideline. Final tackle now, where's Stewart? They position themselves. And they go back to the left wing. The kick is too deep. And you don't see it from Ricky Stewart very often.
Especially not here at home, Terry. He knows this ground, every blade of it. He's trained, they play here. But I think they've targeted the short side. They want to get down the blind side nearly every opportunity they get, no matter which side of the field they're on. They don't want to spin it wide. I guess too predictable, and without Laurie Daly, they're trying to change it around a bit.
At North Sydney Oval, that ball will be up in the Moreton Bay big tree. And Craigie comes away. And forced over the sideline. So the final seconds of this first half. This is Craigie. There's Vainicolo. And they come in and help. And they help in numbers. David Boyle getting involved.
Let's not waste time.
They did that well there, Terry, in the way that they held him up.
Keep it in, Neil, all the time.
They didn't let him go down on the ground. They held him up and dragged him across, which gave the impression that he was still fighting in the tackle.
McClendon chips for himself. He is lightning quick. Look at him go. He's been taken out of play, has he? What will referee Steve Clark do? He says it was play on. Well, he accelerated like a shot from the gun to McClendon. We'll get another look. Was he taken out? We'll get a better look after the break. We must go to the break. 2-point ball game here. Newcastle in front by 12-10.
It's the tradition and treachery of grass court tennis from the grandest slam of them all, Wimbledon, live. Then we're off to Eden Park in Auckland for a bone-crunching encounter as England face the awesome All Blacks in the second test, live and exclusive. And we bring you all the high-octane thrills and spills of the World Motorcycle Championships from Assen in Holland. That's next weekend. Fox Sports.
From NEC, we bring you a big 516-litre frost-free refrigerator. This versatile energy-saving refrigerator comes with a fuzzy logic multicoloured front control panel for automatic control of the fridge and freezer settings. Big freezer, big fridge, big features. Small Harvey Norman price, just $12.95. When it comes to NEC, come to Harvey Norman.
Everybody loves Harvey Norman.
The hum of the saw, the wail of the drill, the rhythm of the plane. If you love the music of woodworking, listen to this free TV offer. It's 101 shop tips, packed with secrets from the pros like a jig for routing evenly spaced dados, straightening uneven edges. You'll get the 101 time-saving tips and you get #360 377. Call now.
Welcome back to a very wet and a very cold Bruce Stadium. The Newcastle Knights, they lead the home side here. The Canberra Raiders by 12 points to 2. It's been 2 tries apiece, Russell Fairfax, but it's been a great contest, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. It's been a very interesting contest. Both of these two sides have lifted at certain times during the match, and I'm so surprised that the other sides have dropped off. Very inconsistent, both the teams, but I've got to say that whoever has had most possession is the team that's looking good at that particular stage.
Possession so far has favoured the Newcastle Knights. It's come back a touch, Russell, but the opening 15 minutes or so, it was all Newcastle.
Well, I guess the last 3 stats on the page there, missed tackles, handling errors and penalties are so close. There's no, I mean, it's every reason why there's just 2 points separating these two football teams. I guess the side that holds the ball the most in the second half will be a better benefit. But the workload is there from both of the sides. Hetherington's working very, very hard in the tackles. So is Neil Pincinelli. Down in the hit-ups, Kenny Nagus from fullback is really working overtime, and the lock forward for the Newcastle Knights, Billy Peden. He's been non-stop in this first half, but I guess they need something like that. No Harrigan out there to lead the way. Billy Peden doing a good job. Butterfield a bit tired, so it's been the lesser-known players like Peden, Grief and Hughes.
Confirming that score line, it's 12 points to 10. 2 tries apiece. The opening try of this game, it went to Owen Craigie, and it was just... We're back on the inside. Quick thinking in the kick here by Matthew Johns.
Well, it was a nice high ball. The players didn't back off so they get up for it. It came off the hands of the Canberra player, and Owen Craigie just pounced on it.
You said to keep an eye on this young guy, Mark McClendon, before the game and just how quick he is. He had plenty of players in motion here, Russell, but what a great job.
Well, the 2 decoys there, and that final one, the player goes in front of him, but I don't think he impedes the tackle. And he just shows a clean pair of heels, gets away from Andrew Johns and eventually gets over. Great comeback.
That made the scoreline there, 4 points all, and we certainly knew that we had a great contest. McClendon scored that opening try, and Craigie, the Newcastle Knights, but certainly Newcastle, they never dropped their bundle whatsoever. It was a good battle for some 15 minutes or so before Ben Kennedy got back into the try-scoring action, and Johns and Grogan had a chance here to score, but just dropped the ball.
What about the pass from Johns? Now Grogan, and unbelievable that Grogan can't take the football. Plenty of time.
Speaking about drop balls, Anthony Brand here coming off a Ricky Stewart dazzler, wasn't it?
He just popped it up centimetres from the ground. I don't think Brown was actually ready for the football, so it was disappointing.
It came off his nose, I think, in the end. Anthony Brand. Now here's the Ben Kennedy try. Clinton holds that ball up nicely there for Boyle, and Boyle back on the inside there for Kennedy.
Yeah, replacement David Boyle just had to catch and deliver. He did it, a treat, and that's why the try resulted.
And then virtually within a couple of minutes, they struck back very quickly. Andrew Johns there.
It was just marvellous by Fletcher. He just timed his run, but it was 3-on-2. He had every opportunity to do that, and that was where they hit the lead.
Next week, the Rugby League action continues with another great round of footy. St George up against Brisbane. Should be a great battle, that one at Cogra. St George at home. West v Manly at Campbelltown for another up against the Bulldogs at Shark Park. Melbourne against Auckland. Melbourne at this stage are the new competition leaders with Newcastle in second position. The Gold Coast up against the Adelaide Rams. Illawarra against North Queensland. North Sydney up against Penrith. Back at North Sydney Oval, that one. And Balmain up against South at Leichhardt Oval. Kick-off for the Sunday games, don't forget, 2:30. Newcastle against Parramatta, which will be a huge game there at Marathon Stadium. And then, of course, on Monday, it's the Roosters against the Raiders. And the Raiders desperately want to go into that match with some winning form. We'll take a short break here from Bruce Stadium. The scoreline at the moment, Newcastle 12, Canberra 10. Welcome back to the nation's capital. Live from Bruce Stadium, Canberra up against Newcastle at the moment, a 2-point ball game. The Newcastle Knights, the premiers from last season, with their noses just in front. It's 2 tries apiece. And unfortunately, we expected a very good crowd here today, but the rain, the wet weather and the cold has kept the fans away. The Canberra Raiders dressing room, I imagine, mixed emotions. Russell Fairfax for coach there, Mal Meninga.
Well, I think Mal will be saying, get the intensity up and keep it at a high level. When they have that intensity, they look very, very good. The other thing, I think they've got to look for the inside ball. Johns and his teammates are moving on the inside. Now, the Newcastle camp, the other Mal really, he'd be saying things like, guys, watch your handling, that's letting you down. And he'd be suggesting to them that the Canberra Raiders are going to continue to work that short side. It's proved successful, so be on your guard for that.
Just recap the score at the moment. It's been 2 tries apiece, as I mentioned. Mark McClendon scoring and also Ben Kennedy. But as quick as a flash, Troy Fletcher struck back after the Kennedy try. Owen Craigie scoring the first try of the game. And Andrew Johns so far, I should say. 2 from 3 and 1 from 1 for David Furner. Brandon Pearson missing that first one, and it's been very cold weather conditions. As I mentioned, only a top temperature of around 12 degrees, Russell, but normally the Canberra Raiders, they love playing down here. They've won 4 of their 5 home games.
Well, it is cold, and take a look at that. That's how you get rugged up. Everything you need, the umbrella, the beanie, the glasses, the whole lot. Here to enjoy his football. A little bit of growth too, just to keep the face warm.
He's got all the little secrets, hasn't he? And of course, a Queensland State of Origin beanie there. Big supporters of Queensland down here. They'd be happy with that series win. And of course, Mal Meninga, one of the Maroons' favourite sons, now coaching this Canberra Raiders outfit. The Green Machine, you mentioned it, Russell, that certainly while they're in form, they look sensational, but they have those lapses.
They certainly have. They're allowing Newcastle to make easy meterage from when they're in their own territory. They need to work harder down Newcastle's end of the field when they haven't got the football. That's the area that's letting them down. When they've got the ball in Newcastle, at Newcastle's end, they are working. The support, the intensity is there. They've got to work harder when Newcastle have it. Don't let them get out as easy.
Here come the Newcastle Knights, led out by their skipper of the day there in Matthew Johns. Hold a narrow 2-point advantage at the moment. There he is, Matthew Johns, who's had a very busy week. We should point out that he was only called into the State of Origin side on Friday morning. Notified, had to make a very rushed plane trip and then get from the airport to the team hotel. Quick team talk, and it was virtually straight out to the ground. That man there played in that game. Butterfield backing up. Well, they feel the pinch in the second 40, Newcastle. The Canberra Raiders, they have been coming home extremely well of late.
They certainly have. They've been playing some great football in the second half. I think Mal's got them coming good in the right end of the season. They were very flat at the beginning of the year, plus they had a whole host of games away from Bruce Stadium. They've now got a lot of home games as we lead on into the playoffs. They will hold them in good stead. But this second half is vital to them. They need to get the competition points. Canberra need to be the first side to score. If they can't score first, it'll be Newcastle's game.
About to find out, Russell, with Stephen Clark coming listening. He's made his way back out there. The lights have been on here since the beginning of the first half, and now we're underway in the second half. Brett Hetherington brings it out for the Canberra Raiders. Wolford is back out there. We saw Prittis come in for the final 15 minutes of that opening half. Anthony Brand. Back for Wolford, and now Bradley Clyde. The test forward takes a good run, some 12 or 14 metres. Back for Brand again. Chinelli gets involved in the tackle along with Butterfield. Stewart, that right boot has been quite lethal today. Back it goes for Mark Hughes. And the Raiders did a good job there. And they drive him back. Vainicolo in that tackle. And Jason Taylor has been to the rooms. Jason, no need to panic in either camp at the moment.
No, the Canberra Raiders are fairly happy with their first half. Mal Meninga talked about the fact that they've been playing some great second halves over the last few weeks. I want to try and put that into play in the second half here. The good thing for them is they're only 2 points behind on the scoreboard, whereas in recent weeks they've been a lot further behind. Just talk about them putting a good solid 40 minutes together and not having any of those lapses that Russell Fairfax was talking about. Mal really wants the Knights to just get those fundamental errors out of their game. A few mistakes in their own territories giving Canberra a few opportunities. They can control the ball in their own half and get to their kick more often. And he's pretty confident they can go on and win this game in the Knights.
Vainicolo plays it back for Stewart. This is Wiki. Edges his way 40 metres out from the try line. McClinton's there. Likes to take off from dummy half. Pinches another 10 metres. And Canberra built on that momentum. Stewart. Short ball there for Croker. Final tackle. The right boot of Stewart. Edges back. This is a very, very high bomb. Pressure and lots of it for Hughes. Plays at it. Loses it. Canberra have it. It's been knocked on by Canberra.
And I can tell you, Hughes really slammed down on the ground when he went to take that. Take a look at this. Watch Hughes. Up he goes, and watch the way he comes down. There's a height. There's the arm of Bradley Clyde, number 15, as he went up for the football. No malice in it, but it got him cold. We might see it better from this angle. Yes. Hit the ground very heavily. But gee, the Raiders have started off well. 2 very good sets of 6.
How he was playing the ball.
Hughes will
right up, John.
Shake his head. He's coming into this team. Robbie O'Davis pulling out. And Newcastle, job of working away from their own line. The hardest job in rugby league.
They've come out tough in the second half, the Raiders.
Moody. 6 tries for the season. Hasn't seen a lot of open space so far. Anthony Brand, slow to get off Moody on that occasion. There's Butterfield. Good defence by Brandon Pearson. Brief. Grandstand side, the kick goes straight out. Not too sure that will worry the Canberra Raiders too much, Jason.
A bit of a nothing kick there from Matthew Johns, but under a little bit of pressure early in this second half, so he probably just wanted to settle it down, roll it into touch, let his forward pack have a bit of a breather, walk to the scrum and get their game back in order.
Canberra so far this season, they are in 8th position coming into this round. 8 wins and 6 losses on 16 points. Stephen Clark trying to settle the players down. Across it goes. Wiki. Vainicolo might go for a gallop here. He does. Has to take on the defensive line, and youth and size and speed on his side. Russell, no wonder.
Yeah, he's a very, very strong player. Only a youngster too. I can't believe he's 19. Some of these youngsters playing for this Canberra side have brilliant futures in the game.
Croker slips, gets up and goes again. Now Canberra have done a good job to get into Newcastle territory. Stewart to the line for Nagus. Marked up very well there on Kenny Nagus. Back it goes. Short side play for Wilford. Little kick. The chase through. Hughes again under pressure. Nice variation though for Canberra.
Well, smart move by Hetherington to say no. Hughes caught the knock before. Take a look at this. It's a good little kick. Almost stands in his road, does Butterfield. Just gets there in time. Almost cops a kick to the... Well, he does. He cops a nasty knee to the head. So in the wars for Hughes, but gee, gallant to say the least.
He didn't rob it, he held it.
He really had to put his body on the line there. McNamara was committed to the ball. It was a fair play.
Back with me, boys. Come on, come on.
That was a better kick from Hetherington than the one in the first half.
It was. Mark Hughes is showing great courage here and saying he's okay. Coach Mel Wheeler has made the decision to give him a break. Denny Badiris will be the player who comes on the park. And that'll force a reshuffle in the back where I think you'll see Moody probably drop back to fullback.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Terry. I think Moody will go to fullback and, of course, Badiris will go on the wing. Battle stations now for Newcastle.
Eden taking 20 out from his own line. Brogan trying to get involved. Well taken. Punchinelli knocked over. Johns back to Matthew. Jinking, weaving, gets it away from Moody. They have some options, don't they? Big kick, huge impact. Vainicolo goes back. He looks up. Newcastle put a very good chase on. Punchinelli made a good tackle.
Newcastle chase has been excellent all day, regardless of the situation of the game. They've had a few periods where they haven't been playing at their best, but their kick chase has been perfect every time. There's 5 and 6 players down there if there's not the whole side.
Ruben Wiki takes it forward. Now Stewart. Brandon Pearson taking a touch high there by Andrew Jones. Brand, it's the halfway line. He's tackled right on it. Final tackle. Stewart, around one, kicks into open space. Moody's at the full-back position. Croker has charged through, and Moody got away from both. Nicolo eventually came at him.
It was pretty good, Moody there. He's just been shifted back to full-back. Took his time getting across to the football, but once he had it in his hand, excellent vision, knew where to go.
Jackson with a very good gallop. Picks up a handy 10 metres. Fletcher out the back. Jackson, then Johns. Now Gidley. Gidley trying to put the step on. Brandon Pearson got him just around the ankles. Andrew back to Matthew. Flung out the back for Darris. Did that pull go forward? Canberra have it. Anthony Brand has come up with it.
Well, that was the poorest piece of play we've seen for this Newcastle side. They didn't know what to do. In-your-face defence by this Canberra side resulted in that turnover.
They capitalised now. They hit it down the short side, the grandstand. Kennedy, back slam to the ground there by Andrew Johns. Wolfen, Stewart, long ball, McClendon. Croker standing wide. Croker straight through. Chance here for Wiki. Wiki has McClendon, and McClendon, he'll get his second. The youngster scores again. Canberra back in front by just 2. Well, they had the numbers. McClendon showed good patience there, backing back up on the inside.
Well, all result of a simple turnover by Newcastle. They had space out wide, and Jason Croker, he holds the ball here. He could have gone himself. He puts it on Billy Peden, opens up that hole on the inside. Ruben Wiki just draws the defence, and this man, can he back up? Is he the new Terry Lamb? McClendon, he's just on fire.
He certainly is. 18 years of age, and he gets another one here. There was no stopping him once he got into space, but Croker did so well.
Yeah, great ball inside. He just kept the cool head here there, Wiki. Just nice and cool. Drew the defence, and as I said, Canberra must score first in this second half if there to be any chance, and they're looking good now as the rain continues to pour.
Pearson, he knocks that one over for Canberra. They jump in front now by 4 points.
They moved it wide, the Raiders. Jason Croker got on the outside of his man, and it was great play from Ruben Wiki to get back on the inside quickly to take that pass. McClinton's speed is not only good when he's taking the line on, but it's great for support play as well.
You're exactly right there, Jason, because not only has he scored 9 tries this season from 12 games, but he's also made 17 line breaks before this round, so he's 5th on the line breaks for the NRL competition. So there's no doubt about his finishing ability, but he can also start them, which is 2 great attributes. Now Hetherington. Last time the Canberra Raiders scored, they gave up a soft try. Will they do it this time? I don't think so.
Can't ride him, he's not a horse. Get off him.
Another mistake.
He's not a horse, Russell.
Well, that's
Got
right.
to get off him, he said.
The quick tackle, no one's aware of this as Bradley Clyde makes an easy 15 metres.
And popped out the back and loses the ball. Well, Canberra.
That's 0.
Excuses there for Croker. I think he got ankle tapped as he went to race away. Jackson plays it back for Fletcher.
And Johns is hurt in back plays, holding his jaw. Let's hope he's okay.
Full form there, Pinchinelli. Halfway through the gap, Kennedy had him around the legs. Andrew Johns is up and about. Matthew Johns now, using his speed, back for Fletcher. Out the back it goes. Newcastle still have it. Play on is the call from Steve Clark. Canberra under pressure. Johns, loose ball again. Falls for Butterfield. He goes back. Andrew, chips for himself. Vainicolo. Can he pick it up and get out? No way. And once again, after Canberra have scored a try, they've put themselves back under pressure, Jason.
We thought they were going to be away with that penalty, but decided to take the quick tap and then turned it over. That's a nice quick kick from Andrew Johns. The option was there for him to be first to the ball and score, but when that didn't happen, second best thing to happen was tackle Vainicolo's goal. Another set 6.
On the line, Rick.
Stewart. Big one here and he gets it. 45 on the fly. Straight over the top of Went. They left that one for the keeper. 101 to 94, so possession is pretty even at the moment. That pass was forward. That one definitely so. McClendon has it.
There. That's 0.
Well, good break there for the Canberra Raiders.
That just went to nobody. He slipped out.
7 to 6, the handling errors. Don't forget, wet conditions, high tackle, the crowd go up, and so too Steve Clark. Lee Jackson pulled off there by Kennedy.
Lee Jackson. Yeah. And you know it was high. There was one in the first half that went off and he was all right. Look, he was on the place, right? You've got to get him down, eh?
Well, he went high, but gee, it was a soft tackle. Warranted a penalty, there's no doubt about that, but there was no malice, or it might have been a bit of malice, but it wasn't a tough tackle.
Stewart. Chance now for the Canberra Raiders. Just feel this game swinging their way a touch. And now the crowd come alive. The Rebels kept away a big crowd, but they are still vocal. 5 to 2 the penalty count. Canberra. Wolford. Stewart, change of direction. McClendon getting involved, running the football and turning it over. So they let the Knights off the hook.
Their second tackle. You've got to hold it for 6 against the Knights. You've got to make their defence work. If you don't, it's just too easy for them. This is a good football side, the Knights. You can't make the passage any easier for them.
Well, they're looking for number 7 in a row here. Matthew, Johns for Craigie. Riley shuffle out there at left centre. He's at 5 short of the halfway. Butterfield puts his body on the line once again.
Yeah, good hit up by Butterfield.
If it goes for Matthew Johns to his brother Andrew. Cut out ball again, Billy Peden. Taken around the legs and a good tackle by Pearson. Quick play the ball. The pickup was a beauty by Gidley. Gidley taken now, 25 out. They're in position for a kick. It goes back to Andrew Johns. He gets good cover. Loose ball for Dearest. He can kick the ball also. Goes back, McClendon well positioned. Comes away, brings Ken Nagus in. Nagus accelerates. How close was he to being through?
Where's the support? Someone off his shoulder, off his hip. Straight along.
There's a turtle. You can't try and turn him. You can't turn him.
Ken Nagus should sew his jersey to his shorts. So often he gets caught by the jersey. He's half through. Somebody's just hanging on to him here. There it is. Moody it is. He's got the hand. Just holds him by the jersey. He gets away in those situations and shut the gate.
It's Kenny Nagus who, my record's turned 25 just this week. Away he comes. It's Brett Hetherington. Plays it now. Bradley Clyde knows where the try line is. And forward he goes. Exactly what they needed, Canberra.
Yeah, good centre field position. Now they can attack either side.
Croker again, standing wide.
I get the feeling Canberra really want another try at the moment. They're pushing the pass a little bit, but it seems to me that they know it's important to get themselves more than that 4-point lead.
Brittis, Ferner, looking to get involved.
Jason, I think they can sense actually that the Knights are going to falter.
Stewart, high ball. Plenty of pressure. Is it too deep? Yes. 20. They have had their chances to really turn the screws on Newcastle and have failed to do so in the final 5 minutes. Pinchinelli there leading the tackle count with 23. Butterfield, his work rate astounding considering that Origin game, and Fletcher also there.
Yes.
Both touch judges are in here. We'll have a listen to Steve Clark.
I don't know. What's it? Okay, just what's it about first? What's it about? What's it about?
Yeah, just over the top of the elbow. Right, when Black was on the ground.
14. This fella. Come out here. Rick. Just come and listen, mate. Just come and listen. Hey, come on. Hey. Just listen. No, just listen to it. Hey. We don't stuff anything up, all right? They're making a report. Okay? Let's have a listen.
What happened was the player's in the tackle. This player's come over the top. When the player's on his back, it's come on with a forearm and across his face.
Okay.
Same way.
Okay, both of them. Rick, come here. Both of them have seen it. Both of them have seen it. They're not going to come in and report nothing, all right? It's going to go and report, and you keep the rubbish out. Okay?
Well, I don't know, Russell. Did you see something I didn't?
I couldn't see a great deal of that. The match review committee will have to have the magnifying glasses on that particular offence.
Mason, what about you?
No, I certainly didn't see anything in it. It was a heavy tackle, but the touch judge mentioned an elbow, which I certainly didn't see.
It's Butterfield. That's what he does best. Muscles his way. 45 out. Loose ball from Jackson. Picked up well by Pinchinelli. Keeps it alive. Gidley. Taking the ground. Quick play the ball. Jackson picks it up. Will pinch another 10 metres. McClendon has it. Tackled well. And it goes. Johns. Andrew Johns. Were they onside? Vainikolo goes back and puts it over the dead ball line. It'll be a goal line dropout and more pressure for Canberra.
What about this football match from one end of the field to the other? But that was cool thinking by the Johns. They're going to get 6 more plays. And look, it's going to stop in time for the players to get there. Vainikolo had to play at it.
Doubt about that. Leslie Vainikolo doing a good job there. And no option but to play for it.
Stay behind the line,
Hit-ups
boys.
are pretty even for both the Knights and the Raiders. Line breaks also, 3 to Canberra. Tackles Canberra, 164 to Newcastle's 176, so it's pretty even all round. Fletcher.
A man in possession the last 5 minutes for Newcastle.
This is Billy Peden, taken by Ferner. And Hetherington. Back it goes. Matthew Johns. Gidley. McClendon. Fended off there. And he comes again. Ben Kennedy holds him down a touch. Matthew. Gidley. Badiris. Badiris. Away from 3. Did well.
The common spin back in vogue.
with the hands. Matthew to Andrew. Loose ball. And they have it. And they were starting to look a little bit ragged around the edges.
Well, I think they could have scored maybe the next tackle. That space out on the left. We'll never know.
Only Clyde scampering for that ball. Now they come away. This is Prittis. Hetherington. 17 minutes gone in the opening, or second half. Dave Ferner. I've seen a great deal of him today. Prittis again. Picks up 10 metres. Final tackle. Stewart. That's the kick in. Away from Grogan. Grogan forced to go back. And they chase him down in the corner and drive him back. The rain, as you can see now, tumbling down, Jason.
It is. The game's really well poised at the moment. The Knights are fighting hard to keep with the Raiders. Raiders have given the Knights a couple of opportunities just over the last few minutes, but were good enough to hang on. Knights still making a few errors that we don't often see from them. They're the sort of team that aren't scared to move the ball around, as we see here, but they don't usually make many mistakes. Today they've made a few.
Goes for Peden. To Shields. Loses it. Canberra have it. The ball is very slippery. They like to shift it quickly. Look at this.
Linesman on far side, 2 in the tackle.
Well, this does not please the crowd here.
Controversial whistle blown there by Stephen Clark. Bradley Clyde had 40 to go. No one in front of him, that's for sure. 2 in the tackle. It'll be interesting to hear what they've got to say right now.
Pass the ball. Pass the ball. This player's come from the back, deflected him. Now it's either got him around here or just on there.
Okay, so this happened just after the ball went loose. It was just after the ball's gone loose. Okay, all right, that's what he got. Okay, after the ball's gone loose, he's seen you hit him up somewhere up the high level. Okay, just aim low, eh? And it's going on report as well.
Well, he's on report here. Ferner, we'll have a look. The ball goes loose.
Well, it was a little bit high, but not a great deal. It could be very costly for Canberra, though. Newcastle now inside the 22 with 6 tackles.
Well, it could cause a 12-point swing.
It changes the result of the game, and there's absolutely nothing in it.
Let's hope it doesn't. They go forward now.
Watch for the inside ball from the Johnses in this set of 6 somewhere.
Loose one there. Billy Peden picks it up well. A nice bounce in the air. Gidley's a dummy half. Through the hands it goes. Fletcher, short ball. Andrew Jones stepping. Taking the ground. Nagus was there. One down in the background. Jackson out the back, off the leg. Pinchinelli picks it up. Gidley can't go. Great ball from Gidley. Matthew Johns taken. Ben Kennedy coming out of the line. Final tackle now. The Raiders have their backs up. High ball. Andrew Johns. Knocked on and taken back. Will it be a try? We'll go to the video referee. Owen Craigie it was. It went forward, I thought.
What I want to look at, the ball come loose.
Then it came
off it come loose off the Newcastle player and touched the Canberra player. If it did, I think it might have been a knock on. Just check that.
Regardless, if it goes forward, it goes forward. It's a knock on. So close.
If the ball goes forward off a Newcastle player, and then he again catches it before it hits the ground, that's play on.
That's okay.
But if he knocks it forward, it hits the Canberra player, that's deemed a knock on.
It's hit Vainicolo there in the head.
Did he have control of the football? That's what I want to know. Who? The man, the try scorer, Owen Craigie. I think he has control of the ball when it actually touches the head. In 2 hands, he's got the ball in his hands there. Now pops out when it hits the head, and he regathers. Tough call.
Tough call, this one. The video referee, Graham West.
Knock on for mine, Terry, no try.
Yeah, it's a knock on for mine, but it's a close one, isn't it? There's Craigie, the hand. It goes forward of Vainicolo's head. Back into Craigie's hands. It looks like an initial knock on. But Graham West is the man who's got to make the decision. It's a crucial one.
Well, Newcastle are pretty confident. They've all gone back over halfway and the goal kicker's down there ready to take a shot. I'm not so sure.
Well,
a quick kick by Newcastle, if it's not on, they could regain possession.
So close, isn't it? Graham West is the video referee. And it will all get back to that initial decision and the penalty. No try. No try. The Newcastle Knights must race back round. And they're not happy either, the Knights. But I think from what we saw, Jason, probably the correct ruling.
I think the correct ruling was made, and probably a bit of justice considering that touch judge report.
I think there's going to be a fair bit of feeling in this final 20 minutes, Russell Fairfax. We're seeing it already.
Oh, you can sense there's a little bit of tension between the two teams, a lot at stake, a very physical match, and it's always tougher when it's played in the rain.
Well, that's a great run by Bradley Clyde. And now they come away again, Luke Prittis. An extra bit of speed around the dummy half area for Canberra.
Yeah, there's an easy 25 metres.
Boyle, Clinton with the kick, into some space. Moody goes back. And he's taken. Jeff McNamara was up there quickly. Mark Hughes is that back out there on the park. He's a back. He took a heavy knock earlier. Dearest has left the field. It's Shields. Ben Kennedy has certainly done his share of work in the defensive line. Matthew Johns. Nice ball for Gidley. Better ball for Moody. Moody under pressure. Flings it back. And the Knights, in fact, lose possession. The Canberra Raiders have it.
Well, he was going out, Jason Moody.
They're going to shift it quickly here, Russell. Furner takes on the line. McClendon is the next man to get the ball. Really go for a dart himself? No. Good solid run, so Canberra.
Well, I think Canberra need Ricky back out there. The tactics now all over the place, hitting left, hitting right, making it easy for the defence. I think they need Stewart back out there as soon as possible. He's the key to a victory for them.
Anthony Brand has been hurt in this tackle, very slow to his feet.
You're right.
He's a big man. He's
wait.
hard to put down.
Just wait for the whistle.
I think he's just wrenched his back here, and neck has got a fair bit of a workout. Play on. Nagus looking to get involved.
That's 4. Come on, boys. No penalties. No penalties. 17.
Grant.
Come on, 17.
Broker. McClendon for Boyle. The defence was up there. The knock-on will count against the Canberra Raiders.
Newcastle feed loose.
Good scrambling defence by this Newcastle side. They know they can't afford to give up another try.
Ups for Anthony Brand, 16 tackles. That was his neck. It may be a bit of a pinched nerve up there at the base of the neck.
Well, here's the man they need. Ricky Stewart's back on the field. They need him at this end of the football field when they've got possession. He's the one that will trouble this Newcastle side. I'm glad he's back on.
He'll miss this season. Only his second game back for Canberra. Out it comes, Craigie. Denied that try only moments ago. The pass, the crowd thought was forward. So too Steve Clark.
Well, I think it was the linesman who said it was forward. Steve Clark not in a position. Got a tip from the linesman.
Not too much wrong with it, really, was there?
Well, half and half, but what about the turnover right here? 20 metres out.
It's a tough call, isn't it? You have a number of those passes in the game that could go either way, and then to pull one up 20 metres out from the Newcastle line. The Raiders are happy about it, I'm sure.
This stage of the season, of the match too, you know, with everything hanging.
Broker off the back of the scrum. Away from one. Couldn't really get away from the tackle of Gidley. McNamara. Seabold is back out there now. So Anthony Seabold plays it 12 metres out. Stewart. Hetherington.
Watch for Stewart to come back this short side. They've been doing it all day.
Change of direction maybe coming. Back to the grandstand. Prittis. Inside ball for Furner was a beauty. Maybe they tackle a touch hard. They go to the far side now. Stewart again. Looking for a runner. McClendon. Dangerous, so close to the line. Has 2, wants 3. Final tackle man. Stewart is the danger man. Little kick. They need another set of 6, and they'll get it. Good control play there by Canberra.
Wouldn't take the option, Owen Craigie. Elected to take the ball. Look, touched by Stewart. Back in time, Craigie takes no chances.
Well, we've seen a few players muck around in the in goal this year. Jason Taylor and concede a try. Safety first there by Owen Craigie.
Especially in the conditions, Terry, the ball's slippery. You don't want to be mucking around with it. Both sides have really used these big in goals well here today. Both sides have got repeat sets of 6. With little grubbers in like that one. Really helps the cause.
Canberra. Can they convert an advantage here? This is Wiki, so strong upstairs. Prittis. Stewart. Inside ball for Furner. And Furner picks up another 5 metres with 2 on his back. Now they'll come back to the open side. Hetherington. Seabold. Offload, second phase. Furner. Again charges forward. Prittis. Stewart. Inside ball for Ben Kennedy. Prittis. Little kick. Johns. Can't get out. Another set. They'll get the Canberra Raiders. The ball on the string at the moment.
What about the pressure from this Raiders side? Third set of 6. Will the Knights crack? The talk will be bedlam out there right now. Newcastle Knights will be talking overtime. Make sure the defensive line is ordered. Not one crack can they afford to have. The Raiders score again. That'll wrap this game up for them. They currently lead by 4 points.
They wind up now. Canberra. Vainakolo takes off in spectacular fashion. Looking for a quick play the ball. This is Prittis. Dangerously close to the line. The Knights defending desperately. Runners. Nagus is through and can't get there. 1 metre out. Need a quick play the ball. Prittis. Stewart. McClendon. Stewart for Wiki. Wiki stands in this tackle. Driven back. Final tackle. Will we see the crossfield kick? Flicked out the back. Nagus will have it. Doesn't want to kick. Furner will though. Puts the kick in. They defuse it. They have stood up to the pressure extremely well, Newcastle.
Raiders skipper Ricky Stewart will be ropeable there. He was calling for the football. They went from dummy half. Stewart has been weaving his magic that last set of 6. He wanted the ball one more touch, and now the Knights get their chance to hit back.
Great defence, wasn't it? 3 consecutive sets of 6, and they withstood the pressure.
And now it's the Raiders have got to do exactly the same thing.
Peter Shields making a good charge. Johns, under the right boot, McNamara. He took it well, it makes a difference. They're back on the halfway already, Canberra. In fact, over the halfway line he goes. Tackled in that one by Moody.
Yeah, wonderful catch over his shoulder. Couldn't see the football, great judgment.
Well, they've come up with a blunder here, Canberra. Forced on it by Denny Badiris. Good tackle. The ball goes astray. Maybe Newcastle can strike back. The handling errors there, 10-9.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Senior players now for this Canberra side have got to get them home.
Stay there, mate, stay there.
Stewart, Croker, they're the players along with Nagus.
11 and a half minutes to go. Grogan on the far side. Taking him that tackle. Boyles on the park to Canberra. Peter. Woody out from the try line. They've done a lot of defending. This is Smales.
It's the first time they've been up this end of the field for a while.
Here's Smales. Plays it back. Andrew Johns. Butterfield. Set play for Newcastle. Smales again. That wasn't part of the set play, the kick. Vainakolo has it. Away from his line, he comes, the big bloke. And still going. Vainakolo can't get around Moody. Oh, yes, he can. He's still going. That is super. Sensational, spectacular play there by Vainakolo. And the crowd, they rise to their feet. Exactly what Canberra needed.
That play was reminiscent combination of their coach, Big Malvaninga. He just took them on and drove up forward. Fantastic stuff.
Clyde. And get away again. Wiki is through. Now Croker for the corner. He has plenty of speed. They're coming at him. McNamara tackled before he had the ball. Surely he was. Back to the 20 it comes.
Well, not according to Steve Clark or the linesman was he tackled before he had the football.
Well, how close was that?
What about the bust, though? This is a fantastic bust by Vaynerchuk. This has set it up for them. They went, geez, almost 95 metres. That's number 2. And now he slips out of number 3. Mal Meninga will be proud of this. Past one more. Amazing stuff. Well, this is the break by Wiki, and then Jason Kroger backing up. We said the senior men would have to do it. He sets up the player inside. No, I don't think he was tackled before he had the ball. I think it was almost exactly the same time, so this game's still very much alive.
They're right. They come away again, Newcastle. The game it's been, a couple of crunch decisions. Look out now. That's a fair tackle it was on McNamara. And Gidley goes through now. Gidley can't get there. 35 out now.
Didn't try to do too much, Gidley. Maintained possession.
One break will do it. They have numbers on the left. They come back to the right. Andrew Johns. Dummies. Always dangerous. And good tackle. Great tackle, in fact. He came out of the line, Bradley Clyde, and he nailed him. High ball from Johns. Across for McClendon. Nagus drops it backwards. McClendon drops it. And now Nagus tidies up. Whoa. So close so far.
This is heart attack material.
Oh, Nagus not getting the chest on that one. McClendon looking down at his feet. And then Kenny Nagus goes back again.
If Pincinelli wasn't involved in that tackle on McClendon, he'd have touched down.
Great game. Each team has had their moments.
Bit of gamesmanship by Ricky Stewart. The hit-ups, just only for the difference. Both the teams have been working very hard. The time wasting by Stewart. Raiders are in the lead.
Saw at the other end, it was the Newcastle Knights who survived 3 consecutive sets of 6. And now the Canberra Raiders with all the hard work to do. They're in front on the scoreboard by 16 to 12. 8 minutes to go. Newcastle are coming home. Billy Peden, we've said it many times, they are a very patient side, this Newcastle Knights. Badiris, a hooker, he's a winger, he's a 5'8", there's a little bit of everything. Back it goes. Andrew Johns takes on the line himself. Clyde was there with Furner. Across it goes. Gidley. Big ball. Matthew Johns. They covered the inside ball well. The inside runner. Peter Shields for Peden. Johns. Not a great kick. How will it work out? Knocked backwards. Will it be a try? It went forwards. Turnover. Steve Clark right on the spot he was. So Canberra, they've done their own fair share of defending now.
A delightful bit of ad-lib football there. Handling errors, though, just won the difference. 11-10 to Newcastle.
72 minutes gone, 73. You may as well make it. 4-point ball game. It's been a game from one end of the park to the other. Neither team able to wrap it up just yet. Prudis, he's been impressive since he's been on. Even more so now. Wolford, 35 out from the line. Ricky Stewart says, no more of this, I want to get out of here. And he does it in great fashion. The chase was good.
I think Stewart's got the tactics right. I think Newcastle are very, very tired. It'll be difficult for them to run 70 or 80 metres to score a try, so Stewart didn't waste any time. Let's get down there. Let's make them work a little bit harder.
Both teams dead on their feet. Johns, they won't give up. Andrew, don't forget they played on Friday night in the Origin. Moody. Ricky Stewart, looks a touch tight himself making that tackle. Quick play the ball. Back it goes. Shields, Pincinelli. Back for Matthew Johns, always looks sharp. Was that pass forward? Billy Peden.
Line ball, that one.
The crowd thought so.
A lot of referees in the crowd down here in Canberra.
Certainly is. Always will be. Final tackle. Jackson. Johns will take it to the line before kicking. High ball. Don't forget, Nagus dropped the last one. This one goes to McNamara, who's a full-back himself. McClendon. This is Kenny Nagus. Bumps away from two. He goes again.
See, I've got a feeling that we're going to see Canberra bust real soon. You can just feel when some sides are getting on top, and I think this Canberra side, they've weathered the storm. They're ready to unload themselves now.
Walford with a very good run. Bradley Clyde has had a huge game. Walford. Furner. Stewart. McClendon. Lincoln, you'll miss him. He'll be gone. Final tackle. Where's Ricky? He's on the short side. To the grandstand they come. Oh! Good work by Gidley in the end. Not the kick Stewart was hoping for. Looking to try and waste some time by getting it over the side.
Yeah, count the clock down. That's what Stewart was looking to do.
Well, a long time to go when you're playing Newcastle, Russell.
There's still 5 on the clock. Newcastle can go from anywhere on the football field. They've got the players that can do it.
16-12, 4-point ball game. 3 tries to 2. Canberra in front. Matthew Johns. Nice ball for Billy Peden. Just the ankle tap that stopped him. Now it goes back. Andrew Johns. Ball there. Shields keeps it alive for Johns. Johns the flick ball for Gidley. Gidley keeps it on the toe. Nagus goes back. And tidies up. Gets back up. Gets away from his own line. He's so casual. He must give Coach Malmaninga heart flutters, no doubt.
Gets the job done, though. Nagus.
In spectacular fashion. It's just the casual manner and the mild manner that he does it in.
Well, we'll be under pressure in the next few weeks. Young Brett Mullins will be back in this Canberra Raiders lineup. He's been out 16 weeks, probably another week or two, so there'll be some pressure there for Nagus.
The hands of Prittis. This is Croker. He's had a big game, hasn't he? Heavily involved. Final tackle. They need a big one here. Ricky will take it to the line of touch. Gets one away again. End over end. Puts the right blinker on and goes to Grogan. Grogan slips away from one. That would have been dangerous. Well, 3.5 to go.
Numbers this side.
They'll stretch it. Andrew. They keep it alive. Badiris. Matthew Johns takes them forward. Again, Shields. Butterfield, is it? It is. Taking the ground. How tired would he be?
Solid defence by this Raiders outfit. They can sniff a win.
Dearest drives forward. Hetherington makes the tackle. Back it goes now. Matthew Johns. Andrew Johns. They're capable of anything. That has gone backwards. That one went forward from Badiris. Surely it did. Gidley slips one. Now they have it. Probably justifiably so. Nagus. He's been threatening to cut loose. Ben Kennedy hasn't. Now, Walford with a great run. He's quicker than you think.
They need Stewart to talk to them now. Control the football a little bit. Count down the clock when you're in possession.
Time back on. Stewart. Croker, nowhere to go, but he'll bustle his way for another 5 metres. Back to the open. Casual hands there by Prittis. Field position all important with 2 minutes to go. The game is in the balance. Here goes Anthony Brand. Wiki, Stewart, McClendon. Will he try a little kick? He accelerates. Now it's the final tackle. Stewart. Furner from dummy half. Furner! Oh, he wrapped it up all right. He does it all by himself. And the Green Machine, they celebrate. They were all waiting for Ricky Stewart's kick. And David Furner said, I'll do it myself. And off he went, Russell.
Well, he just took off like he was a back. Stepped off that left foot, went away from it. A desperate tackle by Butterfield. But this is amazing because he just came on 10 seconds ago to replace Jason Croker. Fresh man, fresh legs. He's done the job for his teammates. They're still alive in this competition.
Oh, well and truly alive. You can tell that by the way they celebrate. Their record at Bruce Stadium, outstanding. They've won 4 from their last 5, now 5 from 6.
They were all looking for Ricky Stewart. You picked it, Terry. They were all looking for Stewart to take the football. They just drifted off the dummy half. The hole, the gap opened up, and he salutes his teammates.
Well, he's the local product from Queanbeyan. He joined Canberra in 91. He won the Churchill medal, don't forget, in 94 in the grand final against Canterbury. 3 Origins, 4 Origins now, 3 Tri-Series games. Couple of test matches, and another couple of points. So Canberra further ahead now, 22-12. If you think it's been easy, it hasn't, has it?
Oh, the score might indicate it's been a free-flowing game, but I can tell you it's been real tough out there. Well, they're going to count down the clock now. This Canberra Raiders side, slow play the balls. They won't get up in a hurry.
Vegas. Anthony Seabold. So play the ball. It's been a gallant effort by the Newcastle Knights. Now they'll stretch him again. McClendon. Kennedy. Another chance. This time Pearson. Back on the inside. Goodwin.
Forward pass back upfield.
They pulled it back for some 20 metres. A job well done from Canberra. Must have happened before that one. The countdown is on in the crowd. The full-time siren goes in the background. The final score here at Bruce Stadium. Canberra 22, defeat Newcastle 12. And the man of the match, the NEC man of the match, is Ben Kennedy.